really amazing. So what we should, create, and we really try to see how Unity was I would say used, and we see that on the web, I would say, area, a lot of cool websites were created in Unity. But Unity is not the best tool to do that because it's super complex. I mean, for non-tech,
Sure.
it's super complex. And then again, it's a 3D game engine, so it's not made to create web things.
Yeah.
Right.
And the exporter from Unity to WebGL is a bit complicated and
Okay.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we say, okay, we're going to create like a CMS, an editor, to create website experience, web experience, digital experiences, but only drag and drop, not a single line of code. Like kind of a super simple Unity to create web experience.
How do you spell your company's name?
Naker.
Okay.
Like maker with an N.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Maker with an I
Yeah, I
prefer
thought
so.
maybe it was connected to maker, but
Actually, yeah, we didn't
like
think
new
about.
maker or something.
It works, but it's not the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your background? So you said you didn't like coding, so what is your background?
So it's funny because I think we're kind of creating a tech company, but none of the co-founder is a tech guy. So myself, I actually met my co-founder in a business school. We were classmates, then we were like mates, and then we were flatmates, and we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
And we knew that we were completely complementary on the skill side, but also on the character side. It's the ice and the fire. Yeah, I'm always like, oh, we need to do that. We need to do that. Come on, we have time. We do
Yeah. Right.
You need
So
both,
yeah. And him, so he's a bit of a maker because he did math, I would say, study, but he decided to go to business school to do finance. And then he was like, okay, I have a math background, I know how to manage, I have a business school. I just need to know how to code and I can do whatever I want. So that's what he did.
Okay.
So he learned to code by himself. He was CTO of his previous company in the big data area. And myself, my parents are teachers, so I didn't know anything about the business before going in a business school.
Yeah.
Maybe in the business school because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I
A
mean,
lot of people in the U.S. do that too.
Yeah, I mean-
Major in business.
Yeah, exactly.
Covers everything.
And I did like first a kind of entrepreneurial, I would say, background. My dream when I was younger was to be like manager in Apple in the US. That was my IT manager. And then I told myself I worked in HP, Hewlett Packard in France, and I was like, okay, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
A very old business, very
Not very agile.
Yeah. Then I worked in a very cool startups, and I told myself, okay, that's what I want to do. And then I joined Salford because I didn't have an entrepreneurial project at this time, and I told myself, okay, it's a super cool school to learn how to do business,
Yeah.
And here I am, opportunistic.
How old are you?
26.
Once you hit 25, you have to start thinking about it.
And you, what's your story?
So I'll go first. So I always loved history growing up, and when my first job out of college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I got an opportunity to teach history in an international school in Austria, and what I really wanted to do was see the world, so it was perfect. But I really then started to enjoy teaching, so I took another job teaching at a school in Croatia, in Zagreb.
Where were you in Austria?
In Salzburg.
In Salzburg.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then spent a year in Croatia. That's where I met my now wife.
She's Croatian?
She's Croatian, yes. Went back to graduate school thinking I would want to be in the foreign service, preparing for the foreign service. And then during that time kind of missed teaching maybe another year. Was offered a job in Paris and ended up spending 18 years at the American School of Paris.
Okay.
Long time guidance counselor, history teacher, then guidance counselor, and then I was the dean. And then, especially as an administrator, I was thinking about, education in a big sense of all of the things that schools say they want to do but are not able to do, and also how is technology going to really impact the way that we learn and the way we work, and how can we create something which is going to help people along that journey. effectively as a partner for innovation and education. And so Z School is that. It's based in San Francisco. One of the constraints that we also wanted to break is, getting talent anywhere and not just who is in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
So we try to
Global.
So we're very global, and also global in scope in terms of especially in America, we think about America. We don't necessarily think about the rest of the world. How do we kind of create this space? And so we're about 2 years old, and our partners range from schools to United Nations to companies. So it's very diverse.
It's a .org, yeah.
It's what?
It's a .org.
It's a .org.
Yeah.
We are thinking about becoming a B Corp, so
Okay.
basically a for-profit, social impact, socially responsible business. But what's interesting is our clients are so diverse, it just kind of shows that the future of learning, the future of work are really converging.
Yeah.
And the problems that people are grappling with are kind of universal in a lot of ways. And so it's very exciting, I think, this time.
And I know a bit, I think you know also Serge Ascoe.
Serge, he's from Ubisoft.
He's one of the co-founder of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I know him, he's one of our mentor, and I know him
Yes.
because of long family, I would say.
Yeah.
And I 100% understand why you're in the Ubisoft area, because he's completely crazy about the future of education and how technology will impact.
Yes. Well, actually, so there's another link with Ubisoft. So I also have. So I spend 99% of my time on what I just described, but I also have an augmented reality company.
Okay.
With my co-founders are from they were executive producers of Just Dance and Lapin Crétin.
Lapin Crétin, yeah.
And so they for a long time were with Ubisoft, and Ubisoft very interested in augmented reality for gaming. So we're also creating those experiences.
Okay.
To give you an example, the 75th anniversary of the Liberation of Paris is coming up.
Yeah.
And Realcast is creating experience in the catacomb where the resistance was, an augmented reality multiplayer.
And
right?
it's going to be offline? Because
It's going to be place-based.
Yeah, because I don't think in the catacomb you don't have 4G, right?
Well, we'll have our
Okay,
our
okay.
But yeah, and so we work with castles and a lot of tourism and culture.
Yeah, it's a super cool space.
Exactly. But that is, I think, it has been a huge advantage for Z School, the education nonprofit, also because otherwise everything is theoretical.
Yeah.
I get to see what it actually looks. How does a startup actually go from A to D and raise money, and what is the pace of change? And if you look at some of the other startups here, you just learn a lot about what's possible.
I think that's why one of the biggest advantages of Session. There's so many companies,
Exactly.
so many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, it's a shame you can't see them, but do you know Mimesis?
I know them by name.
So there's 3 companies that have been bought already, startups
Yeah.
that have already been bought. They were the third,
Okay.
and it's hologram conferencing,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
right? So the impact of something like that for education, I mean, for everything, right? So instead of you having
can
to travel
have
to France, we
art
can just have
everywhere.
this conference like this no matter where we are.
Yeah.
It feels like this,
Yeah.
right?
amazing.
That's going to blow everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, I wouldn't know about that stuff or think about that stuff unless I was in a place
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your?
I'm a high school computer science teacher from Ohio. So my students and I, we use Unity to develop virtual reality apps.
Okay.
We use a plugin called VRTK, virtual reality. You know VRTK?
I know by name, but I'm not a Unity user, so I know that it exists. I know what it does, but
Yeah. So, and I just recently, I did the tutorials for Unity on getting started with VRTK. So on the new Unity Learn platform, I have a series on there.
Is it an open source VRTK?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. It's on GitHub. It's in beta right now. And so I'm interested in just seeing what companies are doing in AR and VR, so I can go back and show my students, here's what you should be learning.
Yeah.
Because this is what the most innovative people in the world are doing. And so that's why we're sitting here talking to you, is because I consider you one of those people. So
Nice. Yeah, we try. I mean, at least we try.
and I want my students to see that there's a lot of risk taking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mistakes and failure, and I want them to see that And
I hope I'm gonna be in the innovative part and not on
Well,
the risk and
well-
failure.
well, you know,
We'll
it's,
see in a few
yeah,
years.
yeah, right, yeah.
Where are you? Where's your company right now? What stage
Yeah.
are you at?
So we started 8 months ago the activity of the company, the corporation. We now have 1,000 users, around 15, 16 countries. Our biggest country is France, but second one is the US. Third is Russia, I think. The country that are really into 3D. At the moment, so we started from nothing. So we had trouble because we're not from 3D. We had trouble to find our own space, I would say. At the beginning, the objective was that my grandma could create
Yes.
easily a free, super simple, but it's another step. So we
Yeah.
need first. So that's 2 or 3 months ago. We realized that we need to convince Unity users or really 3D experts to use us. So to complexify a bit the platform in order to create really cool things, and
Yeah.
then as another step, we will be able to simplify the process. So yeah, 1,000 around 1,000 users. We have 4 people in our advisory board to help us on a monthly basis. One of them is Serge from Ubisoft. We also have. Do you know Babylon JS? You know Babylon JS? So on the WebGL area, there was like a lot of libraries who came, like FreeJS.
Oh, Babylon.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of it.
So yeah, Babylon was FreeJS is the most popular, I would say, library in WebGL at the moment. But another one was created like 6 years ago, I would say, by 2 French people, and it's the most active and the most supported. I would say it's open source also.
Okay.
Library. It was bought by Microsoft in the US 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Now we're a team of 20, and our platform is actually based on Babylon JS.
Ah,
To be honest, we more like a user interface to Babylon JS than
Okay.
a whole new 3D engine.
okay.
But at the moment, is the most growing, I would say, library on WebGL. Babylon JS is backed up by Microsoft, has a partnership with Google because FreeJS was kind of acquired by Google at some point, but they kind of stopped FreeJS to really focus on Babylon JS. And for example, I don't know if you heard about WebGPU.
Uh-uh.
So at the moment, any website only goes to the CPU on a
Right,
computer.
right.
So it will change at the end of the year. So now we will have access to the GPU. It will be an increase of performance, like multiplied by 2 or by 3.
This is a browser technology?
Yeah, this is a browser technology. Yeah.
Ah,
And so Babylon JS will be the first, I would say, library to have this kind of technology before any other one.
well, that opens up all kinds of things, doesn't it?
And it's just the beginning. Honestly, it's just the beginning. I know that a lot of other things are going at the moment. The W3C was 1 week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And they really talked about the future of WebGPU. We will do a multi-threading. We will do.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. So technologically speaking, we want to be ready. For the moment, we are a nice to have on a super early stage market. Nobody